Oof. Well, there you go. All right, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday nights, and that is Hump Day here on the Portal. And I'm your host, Brent Thomas. This is the Paranormal Portal. And we're going to do our best to keep you entertained for 2 hours. So buckle up, get yourself all nice and cuddly, because it's going to be a bumpy ride for sure. I'm not alone here in the studio. I brought help because God knows I need help. And help arrived. I am joined tonight by my good friend and co-host, the Big Toe himself, Mr. Don Longbeard. How you doing, Don?
Doing good. Sorry I've been missing so many shows.
Well, that's all right. I'm glad you could make it tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here, because doggone it, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I'll be too fat.
What are you thankful for?
What am I thankful for? You know, I'm thankful that, my life is finally on track.
Well, there's that. That's good.
Then I got all the personal stuff, the kids, the grandkids, good friends that let me come over and be on their show, and, doing the good work of the Portal, and having all these friends that we have here. It's all just an amalgamation of just wonderfulness.
Yeah, and I'm thankful that we got this amazing group of people that keeps coming back and watching us do this slow motion train wreck over and over. Over and over. You guys are tuning in for this. So
it's Laurel and Hardy, and who's going to hit the train first?
Wait a minute. Who's Laurel and who's Hardy?
I know. I ain't.
Which one was fat? I don't know. I guess we'd both be Hardys then.
Yeah,
we'd both be Hardys. But anyway, we hope you're doing good. Happy Hump Day. Hope your week is going well, and I hope you all are geared up to get together with your loved ones and have a wonderful day tomorrow, celebrating Thanksgiving. I know not all of you are from the U.S., but, just enjoy each other anyway.
Make a turkey and some gravy anyhow. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, turkey's just always a good food, right?
No.
You're not a turkey fan?
Not really.
Yeah, not me either. Although my cousin, who is kind of a chef in his own right, he's really trying to sell me on doing a turkey, and And even though I'm not going to do it, I do like listening to him. So he's got good culinary advice. I've eaten his food many times, and the guy's brilliant. But man, he's always trying to talk me into the turkey, and I'm not quite there yet. But by God, it is kind of a tradition. The turkey.
Oh, gosh darn it!
What'd you do?
Well, this guy came to work the other day, and he brought some venison backstrap.
Oh yeah,
And
you said that.
Yeah, he had. He marinated it and overnight and just, it was really, really good. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself after he offered me a piece, I'm like, oh, that was really good. And I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to offer to buy, I'm going to ask to buy some from him. And then he comes over the other night, he goes, you do rabbits, right? I said, yeah, I do rabbits. He goes, I want some rabbit. I said, this is what we'll do. You trade me backstrap for rabbit.
Oh, nice.
So we did that yesterday, but gosh darn it, I forgot to get it out of the freezer at work again.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wanted rabbit and backstrap tomorrow, but now we're having ham. Doggone it.
Well, that's okay. Although, rabbit and backstrap sounds lovely. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever had rabbit, but
I'm going to have to try a smoked rabbit. I haven't had smoked rabbit.
Okay.
I've had it braised in red wine.
Okay, now this isn't the Food Network.
Are you sure?
Let's move on because this is the Paranormal Portal.
Doggone it.
We're going to dig into another, the news, of course, is coming up. And we're going to get into some stories and weirdness and then the cryptid corner to wrap it all up. So I hope you guys are ready. Was there anything on the front end that I wanted to say?
There's
other than, huh?
Who's Auntie Lil?
Auntie Lil.
Hi, Auntie Lil.
Auntie Lil. Oh,
Lel.
nice.
Lel, yeah.
Lel. Okay.
All right.
Nice to see you, Auntie Lil.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in. That's a new name. It's always cool. Suxon's also new.
Suxon's a new name for
Nice.
it. Too, yeah.
Thank you guys for coming in and checking out the show. Hopefully you'll be pleasantly surprised or at least not hugely disappointed that you spent your time here.
Oh, and Karen, tell the hubby hi for us.
Yeah, hello to all of you. But again, for those of you in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving, and thank you so much for being a part of the family, because when I think about what I'm thankful for, there's a million things I'm thankful for, but one of them is, honest to God, having a show that you guys come and take part in. It's just such a cool thing. Don, that's not the spirit of it. You don't say suckers. You say God bless you. Thank you for your friendship.
I second that.
All right. So anyway, let's get to the news and find out how I can inform you of the situation in our world, at least for today. So on to the news, Don.
On to the news.
The news.
Play that funky music.
Boom. Most trusted news, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Paranormal Portal, and
Racked up with a chunk wow wow.
Chunk of bow wow wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got some news for you guys.
Sweet.
I love you. Okay, let's move back on. That's my news. No, I got more than that. I do love you guys, though, but where the hell am I? Here I am. I got Tabosaurus Rex here.
Yeah, no doubt.
The first article up for tonight on the Paranormal Portal news desk is coming from an amazing site, unexplained-mysteries.com. Please support this site. They are doing a fantastic job. I can't help but promote it. It's just amazing. I always look forward to checking it for updates because it's just cool. They're always punctual, timely, and relevant. And they also often have quite a bit of weird stuff on here. And first story tonight is definitely a weird one.
Wow.
And it fits right in here on the Paranormal Portal because from the Modern Mysteries segment of unexplained-mysteries.com is a Peruvian village terrorized by mysterious 7-foot yellow-eyed assailants.
Yellow-eyed assailant.
They're 7 feet and yellow eyes, Don.
Assailants.
Lints. Yeah, there's plural. There's more than one.
Wow.
So let's see what this says. I've not heard of anything. I mean, I was thinking of like the face peelers down in wherever.
Face peelers?
Yeah, down in South America.
Face peelers?
But this is another one. Yeah.
What the hell's a face peeler?
They're like the aliens that are like plaguing I can't remember what country it is, Brazil. There's the aliens that are plaguing Brazil, and apparently they like to like peel people's faces off.
Really?
Yeah, I guess
Like
so.
facelift style or like
No,
gone?
no, it's not cosmetic, Don. It's like removing the entire skin state.
Well, I thought it was like a chem peel or something.
No. But investigators have found a rather sinister explanation for a spate of alleged alien attacks in a remote village. Something strange is going on in a small village in San Antonio. It is San Antonio. Oh, I had to look at that again. I was like, wait, this isn't Texas. But there's another San Antonio, folks.
Try that next name.
In Pintuyaku. I think that's right. I think I did okay.
Ah, okay.
At least, that is, according to reports of 7-foot-tall figures with yellow eyes terrorizing the local residents. Some witnesses described alien-like beings floating through the air on metal discs, while others claimed that the mystery assailants were dressed in black armor with oval-shaped helmets.
Wow.
In one incident, a local actually fired his gun at one of the figures, and while he seemed to have hit it, the entity reportedly got up and fled, seemingly none the worse for wear. In another, a 15-year-old girl was attacked and wounded after one of the assailants emerged from the darkness, again riding a floating platform, and grabbed her. When a second figure appeared, the pair allegedly attempted to perform some sort of surgical procedure on her face with a scalpel. Face peelers.
Face peeler.
It's face peelers all over again. Unfortunately, or fortunately rather, she was able to scream for help, and other villagers soon arrived on the scene.
Can you scream without lips?
I think so. It's just you need a noise hole. Doesn't matter if you got flaps.
Well, then
They, too, witnessed the mysterious assailants as they ran back into the bushes. When American explorer Timothy Alberino and his ex-Marine friend Doug Thornton, who happened to be in the area, ventured into the jungle to investigate, they determined that these attackers, far from being alien visitors, may have been regular humans with something very sinister in mind. Worst case scenario, this is an international organization of organ harvesters or sex traffickers who are in possession of top secret hardware, and they're using it to do something very sinister, said Alberino. I had to say that slowly because I just felt like I was going to screw it up. I honestly believe that's what we're dealing with here.
Wow.
So is it aliens or is it just some people with some pretty dark hardware?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how would they get top secret hardware?
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like...
Well, how did all of Hawaii burn down except for like Oprah's house? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But anyway.
This is my look.
There you have it. So they may not be aliens. They just might be sinister people.
Jack the Ripper face rippers. Jack the face rippers.
Could be.
Yeah. There you go.
There's the first story, though. I don't know.
Creepy. That's crazy and scary all at the same time.
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the alien. Yeah, the discs that they're floating around on.
I don't know.
Jeez.
That sounds like, what is it, Marty McFly with his floating skateboard?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And a scalpel. Yikes. Yeah. Crazy stuff, whatever it is. But there you heard it. You might have heard it here first. If you heard it anywhere else, then sorry, we didn't.
Yeah, Chucky says he heard Tim Albertino was investigating it. He said they rubbed some kind of paste on her face that made the skin swell up, then tried to cut the face off.
Jesus.
That doesn't make it any better, Chucky. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Oh, God.
What's that paste?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want any.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, obviously not Crest. Anyway, that's creepy as hell.
Yep.
All right, here's the next story from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this one is...
Somebody warned Biff Tannen.
All right. 2 fighter jets scrambled to intercept UFO near airport in India. In India, that's right. Passenger flights were grounded while the jets, which were equipped with advanced sensors, were sent to investigate. The incident began around 2:30 p.m. local time on Sunday when an unidentified object was reported over the northeastern state of Manipur, prompting flights from Bir Tikendrajit International Airport to be grounded for several hours over safety concerns. According to reports, the object was clearly visible to witnesses on the ground. So great were the concerns over the nature of the UFO that India's Air Force scrambled two Rafale fighter jets from the Hashimara Air Base in the eastern state of West Bengal to look for it. Equipped with advanced sensors, the jets investigated the area but found no sign of the object. The investigation lasted several hours, and clearance to resume flights wasn't given until 5:30 p.m. The UFO was visible with bare eyes moving westward of the airfield till 4 p.m., an official with India's Central Industrial Security Force was quoted as saying. As things stand, the nature and origins of the object continue to remain a total mystery. Wow. That's pretty crazy, but
that's an interesting one.
It is. Yeah, it sure is. Even their advanced sensors couldn't find them, Don. They must be not us then, right?
Well, they don't get the good hardware like the face peelers do.
Yeah, apparently not. Yeah. Yep.
They get all the secondhand stuff.
Right. Yeah, just these jets with missiles and stuff.
Right, yeah.
That'll do it.
$4 billion jet, $5 billion jet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Couple $100,000 missile on each one of them.
Yep. Anyway, there you go. Second article. Do you feel more informed yet, folks? Because don't worry, I got more. I got one more for you. This one's kind of a weird thought. Could you imagine travel all the way across the stars and you end up on this planet? It's like, hey, it's like Earth. We can probably do it here. And then you get out and there's like T-Rexes and raptors and all kinds of stuff, because that's a new article from unexplained-mysteries.com. Could we find alien dinosaurs on distant extrasolar worlds?
How would you define a dinosaur on an extrasolar world?
Well, I mean, the dinosaurs are just these huge lizards, right?
Well,
or something of the sorts. Whether they were
call them aliens.
Right? Yeah, I mean, they would be. They wouldn't look exactly like ours, I'm sure, but wouldn't it be something if they did, though?
T-Rexes could actually pull your hair.
But yeah, they'd have longer arms. They love knitting. Scientists have come up with a way to find planets capable of supporting dinosaur-like extraterrestrial creatures. I went, what? What do you mean dinosaur-like? Are they? Oh, they're looking for young worlds, is what they're saying then, right? With not.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going.
What if they are the top of the food chain? And, well,
yeah. What if they're smart?
What if they're like, dinosaurs? Not the mama.
Say, Clucky, I was going to come over and check out your new Hummer. That probably didn't sound good at all. I do apologize. The scientists have come up with a way to find planets capable of supporting dinosaur-like extraterrestrial creatures. When it comes to the search for extraterrestrial life, we tend to focus on the possibility of finding civilization of intelligent humanoid entities much like ourselves. The truth is, however, that alien life forms could potentially come in any shape or form imaginable, including forms reminiscent of life that once existed on our own planet, but that is now extinct. So could alien dinosaurs actually be out there somewhere just waiting to be found? I don't think they're waiting for that, but
Yeah, it's like, when are these idiots going to get here?
I know, it's like they're a bunch of, like Gilligan's Island out there. I'd build my own boat, but my arms are too short.
They got signs that say, "Welcome, you idiots."
Yeah. Bring ketchup. In a new study.
Soft on the outside, crunchy on the inside. It comes with its own ketchup.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the flavor packets
right.
they give you at Taco Bell. Would you like some sauce? No, I brought my own. In a new study recently published in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, scientists outline how we might go about finding a planet inhabited by such creatures. The key, they argue, would be to look for an atmosphere composition similar to that which existed more than 65 million years ago on Earth. Oxygen, for instance, was a lot more abundant back then.
Yes, it was.
Modern Earth's light fingerprint has been our template for identifying potentially habitable planets, but there is a time when this fingerprint was even more pronounced, better at showing signs of life, said study co-author Lisa, what the hell's that name? Kaltenegger. Okay.
Negger, yes.
This gives us hope that it might just be a little bit easier to find signs of life, even large, complex life elsewhere in the cosmos. Hopefully we'll find some planets that happen to have more oxygen than Earth right now, and who knows, maybe maybe there are other dinosaurs waiting to be found. Now that's interesting. You know why? Because here's my thinking.
Oh boy.
And so if you find a planet that has the fingerprints of life like it was here back 65 million years ago, well, you design a rocket ship that's going to travel and probably take maybe so many light years to get there, so many hundreds of thousands or millions of light years to get there. So that's eventually people will land there and it'll be much like our own atmosphere.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's what I'm thinking, right? So if they aim it towards dinosaur stuff that by
65 million years later, we
yeah,
might be there.
Right. I mean, there's things that are probably 100 million light years away. So if we aim for, the development then, by the time they get there, it'll be just like home. Maybe. I don't know. That's just what occurred to me.
You know what'd be really cool though? Is if you traveled all that way and you got there and they have similar technology to us, and they get there and the first thing they hear is, "Hey, welcome to the Paranormal Portal, everyone."
If it was on the, yeah, it's just an echo of Earth. Yeah, there'd be.
Except they're not as wealthy and good looking as we are.
I'm Brentosaurus, and this is
Brent with the Soros.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is Don the Dingo.
Yeah, we'll be the dinosaur versions of us. Yeah, because that's what actually prevailed as the dominant life form was dinosaurs.
Oh boy.
There you go. Imagine the culture.
RJ Windwalker says, "Who says they have to breathe oxygen?"
Well, we do. So that's what we're looking for. We don't want to breathe like a what would it be like a let's say
nitrogen?
Ammonia or nitrogen atmosphere. Yeah, that wouldn't be much of a home place for us. And I think that's the whole object here is they're just looking for other places that we could go.
Taco, you're such a great guy. Nice to see you, bud.
What'd Taco do?
Taco just says it's been a long time and I do apologize. I've been busy and distant. That's okay. We understand. I wasn't I want everyone to know I always support and never forget this channel or the family I've made here.
Well,
you're
sure.
awesome, brother. Yeah.
Great to see you again, Taco. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Yep.
Taco. Been a while.
Next time I want enchiladas.
Enchiladas.
Hi, Mercedes.
Hey, Mercedes. How are you doing? Good to see you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. Hopefully you have learned something.
Or at least you're scratching your head going, what the hell are they talking about now?
Yeah, well, that's every show. That's every freaking show. So with that in mind, let's get back to it. Most trusted news. Hopefully you learned something there, folks, because by God, that's the takeaway at the end of every day. Is, become more of an evolved human being.
Be a better you the next day.
At least try. At least try. Now we're back, and I'll tell you what, we got a lot more to get to. Take it away, Don.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, that's Don's contribution. Don's more of a closer. That's good. That's good. We know that now.
That's because when people log on, they go, Don's there, let's close it.
No, they don't. They go, oh, Don's here tonight. Let's tune in.
Because we want to hear what Don's going to say next.
Yeah, well, there's probably drinking games out there for what you're going to say next.
Probably.
All right. We're going to go to a thought catalog article that I just pulled up tonight. I thought this one's kind of interesting.
Sweet.
There's a lot of people out there living in haunted places.
Yeah.
And I found an article about that because I thought, well, we should probably check that out, Don.
Sure.
So this is from thoughtcatalog.com, and please, if you're, I can only suggest, and I hope you guys will do it, that any of the sites we use, I hope you guys will reach out to them and not necessarily like email them, but just go over there and support their sites. These sites are doing wonderful things, and they're putting out a lot of information. And it's a great journey. The Thought Catalog is one of those sites. It doesn't matter what you like. You're going to find something on there that's going to line up with what you want to learn about. So
Absolutely. Give Taco the clap.
Taco, what are you going to do? Donated some money, Taco.
$5.
God bless you, brother. God bless you.
You can have anything you want for 5 minutes.
From Don. I'm not a cheap date personally, but yeah, you can start with the economy model. Work your way up to the Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm not really a pig. I just play one on TV. All right, here's the article, and this is looks like a good one. Hopefully, it is. And this is from again. Thought Catalog, 50 true stories from people who have lived in a haunted house. I've lived in a haunted house. I've experienced this. And I can tell you that it's a pretty crazy experience. But this was written by January Nelson. It was updated last on September 19th, 2022. Oh. I'll put a link to it in the chat. In the chat, in case any of you want to read ahead. Where the hell's my chat? Where am I, Don? I always check out Paranormal Portal, Phantoms and Monsters. Because of Paranormal Portal. Thank you, Cons. That's really cool. I hope that that's the case for all these sites. And even Wes's blog is a great place. We're going to be visiting that a little bit. Wes's blog on SasquatchChronicles.com. He's got a great blog over there as well, Phantoms and Monsters, and Thought Catalog, unexplained-mysteries.com. There's so many great sites out there. And
Deb.
A lot of times these people are doing these sites on their own blood, sweat, and tears, and they're paying out of their own pockets to support these sites and to host them.
Yep.
And it's good if we can help support what they're doing, because it helps to support what we're doing. A good, robust paranormal community for all of us.
Eric, I still haven't.
Okay.
Eric says, at this point, is there anyone that hasn't had an experience at haunting? Me. I went looking for one the other night.
Well, you'll find one. Don't worry. Yeah, well, you'll find one, then you'll be wishing you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. 50 true stories from people who have lived in a haunted house. So let's listen to these and check them out. Number one, and I don't know if these Reddit, or I guess they're not attributed to anybody. So
yeah, Ask Reddit.
It's Ask Reddit, but she didn't give. Usually I like to read out the Redditors' names, but that's not listed on this article.
Half the time you can't even pronounce them.
Well, a lot of times I can't, because I can't read that. Lived in a house from 1938. I would wake up, sit up in bed every single night at about 2:59 to 3:01 a.m.
Oh.
God, I can't tell you how many times that comes up. The 3 a.m. mark.
I was at a party and I stepped out on the porch to have a smoke. It was about 3 a.m. and a Sasquatch walked by.
Could happen. I thought I saw something move quickly out of the corner of my eye on occasion, but assumed it was me being sleepy with bad vision without my glasses. One night, the curtain on my closet moved. I pulled the lampshade and the room lit up. My husband thought I was crazy. I saw nothing, so I pulled the chain again to turn off the lamp, and I tried to sleep again, but a few minutes later, I heard the lamp chain swinging against the lamp base. When I reached out to see if I felt it swinging to stop it, something cold touched me.
Oh.
It didn't feel like the shape of a hand or finger, but like a wet washcloth.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no kidding. We moved soon after that due to relocating, but I stopped waking up every morning at the new house and haven't had any weird feelings since.
Sweet.
And here's the thing. So I think a lot of paranormal activity is not malicious. It's not anything other than a curiosity in some cases. Sometimes it's maybe what's the word? God, I almost thought of it twice and then it left my head again. More mischievous.
Okay.
I think a lot of times hauntings are really mischievous, and it could be just like again, these spirits are in places. They may not want to be, they may not understand, but some kind of interaction maybe is better than nothing at all.
Right.
And so they do things to be noticed just because They want to be noticed. And you can kind of think of the psychology, and I've often wondered this. Say you're a spirit and you're in a space. Maybe it was your home, maybe it's a different space, whatever. But you're in this space, but other people are too. But those other people never look at you. They never talk to you. They never say a word. They don't acknowledge you're there. They walk, maybe walk right through you.
Yeah.
And how would that affect your psyche? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you'd get really punchy after a while and be like, and it becomes almost like toddler-esque. Like, okay, well, negative attention is better than none. So you start throwing things and you start having a tantrums and stuff because you just want that acknowledgement. You want to know, that it matters. And so I've, even wondered about the possibility of insanity developing in some of these earthbound spirits. And I'm not suggesting they're all human.
That'd be scary.
Yeah, right. But I mean, would you...
ghost version of a Nosferatu? Are you kidding me?
Right. What if it was just crazy? That it just goes absolutely bonkers. Like, like the train guy on the movie Ghost. Like he was just gone. His mind was just gone.
The train guy.
Yeah, he taught him how to move stuff. Patrick Swayze, Ghost.
Oh God, that was a long time ago.
Right, but you know the guy I'm talking about, right? He was kind of
totally.
He was and he would get lucid and talk for a while, and then he'd just kind of flip out and just take off.
I don't know. That was a good movie for when I was in high school.
It's still a good movie, Don.
And talking to girls.
Well, you don't talk to girls anymore?
I wasn't talking at that time either. She was watching the movie. I was watching her.
Oh, well. And it didn't work out? Creepy. No,
well, she may not have been watching it either.
Maybe. All right. So I just wonder about that. I think that sometimes it's just an attention. I need to be noticed. I need to be acknowledged. And so I don't think it's always dark. It's not. I mean, it certainly can be, but it doesn't always have to be.
Right.
And the other part of it is that for us, experiencing this stuff takes us to a different place.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Just consider a person never really believed fully, maybe acknowledged that it was possible, but never experienced it. But then suddenly you're experiencing it. Yeah. And it's a whole different thing. It's kind of like, hey, I can't wait till I see Sasquatch. And then suddenly, a person sees Sasquatch and it's not such a good thing.
Right.
And then it becomes a terrifying thing, So, I don't know. Just some thoughts. I got to throw out thoughts, Don.
Yeah. Well, as long as you throw them out and not throw them up.
Well, it all depends on the ears of the beholder on that one. Maybe it sounds like I'm throwing them up. Number 2, I watched one of our cats pulled backwards about 5 feet.
Oh, wow.
By her tail.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. Yeah, they don't generally do that on their own.
Yeah, no, they kind of frown on it.
Yeah, they hate that pretty much. Woo! Never forget. Taco. God bless you.
Yeah, some of us are more paranormal than others. That's true, though.
We're all paranormal. All right. So the cat got pulled backwards by her tail. Mm-hmm. Only there wasn't. What? Suddenly she was sliding backwards as if someone was pulling her by the tail. Only there wasn't. Oh, it wasn't somebody. Okay. She freaked out and tried to run, but couldn't immediately as something held on for a brief second before letting her go. I tend to think it was the handiwork of a 4 to 5 year old girl ghost who hangs out and just wanted to play with the kitty.
Well, that would make sense, especially if you've got a young little tight ghost running around pulling tiger tails.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't always. Mostly I hear kid ghost and it's red flag city for me.
Right.
And rather than bore you with all the details, basically just the too long to download or read version is that I don't believe that if there's a divine that they would just leave these gentle, innocent spirits to wander.
Unless their name's Damien.
Well, that's not gentle or innocent. Not that it's in a name, but just from the Antichrist, but the Omen movies. But it just is hard for me to believe. But I think that's negative spirits can appear that way because people want to help. They want to open themselves up to these gentle kid spirits that aren't really gentle kid spirits, and then it becomes dangerous. So
right. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I don't know. I think to see my cat get pulled backwards.
Yeah.
I
That would be interesting.
That would be bizarre. That would be, maybe even a little terrifying. I don't know. I've not seen that, and I don't want to. All right, number 3. One night when I was about 12, I was drifting off to sleep, and then I clearly heard a baby laugh for 1 to 2 seconds.
Oh.
Presumed it was just my imagination and went to sleep. How do you presume it's just your imagination?
Okay.
Boy, you got a really twisted imagination if that's what you think of. At, when was that? It was about midnight, yeah. The next morning, my sister mentioned that she'd been woken up by the sound of a baby crying. I really don't believe in ghosts, but I've never been able to explain that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's creepy. Again, baby spirits too? I don't know. I don't understand the mechanics of all this, and I fully believe, obviously I've had lots of ghost-like experiences in my existence, but it's just like babies?
Yeah.
Is that just an imprint, do you think? Is that maybe more residual, most likely? Or is there baby spirits in being, cared for by mommy spirits?
I kind of doubt that, but I mean, anything's possible, I suppose.
Okay, so what if it's more of the time dilation thing again? Where we're the ghost to them and they're the ghost to us because...
good point, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe, because I mean, there's nothing more...
Well, and it could be crossing of the veils, and
right.
things like that. Yeah, so that would... let's go that way. Let's say there was a thin spot in the veil and you touched another dimension.
Another timeline or dimension, yep. And you just heard something that was happening there.
I like that better than going, oh my God, it's a ghost.
Yeah, baby ghost is just like, what? I mean, because there's like nothing corrupt about a baby at all. So, well, if there is, anyway.
It's like, Chucky.
All right, number 4. I lived in a house for about 5 years that was haunted, but not in a malicious way, in a crappy roommate kind of way. I'd come home to the windows on the second floor being open when it was raining, to food containers being open in the fridge that I hadn't touched yet.
Oh, that sucks.
The worst was that the ghost hated clocks. And it says she.
Yeah.
She hated them. I don't know how they came up with she, but anyway. I had antique cuckoo clocks that had worked for 50 years, and that would just stop. Brand new wall clocks, sorry.
That doesn't say cuckoo.
What does that say?
It says cuckoo.
Oh, it does say cuckoo. But it's supposed to be cuckoo.
Sure.
Brand new wall clocks that ate through batteries like it was candy. My watch ended up on the floor one morning. The crystal shattered, even though I knew I slept with it on. And the one that pissed me off the most was that I got a brand new Kit Kat clock for Christmas, okay? And that wench threw it off the wall. I was cooking, and out of the corner of my eye, saw the cat freaking fly. Turned around, and it was across the kitchen broken. It was brand new. Oh. Man, she was a witch. Doesn't say witch, but that's the version I'm giving you.
New kitty cat clock. I was like, she threw a candy bar across the...
I know. Who gets a clock of a candy bar clock anyway? I love those. I just need clocks.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat clock.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Threw it across the room.
And again, so this is a person that seems to have come to a good place from it. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't horrifying. It was just being a pain in the ass,
Derriere. How derriere you?
All right. Number 5. I'm typically a skeptic and can usually apply logic to a situation and figure out a plausible explanation. Mm-hmm. When I bought my house, they had to disclose reports of paranormal activity concerning the house. I thought, yay, whatever. But entertained it in a good humor, even addressing said ghost by name. There's nothing concrete that I can tell you, nothing hovering in the air. No furniture appearing on the ceiling. Oh, okay.
That's not.
Yeah, normally it doesn't happen to anyone else either. Nothing that shows up as any type of blip on anyone's typical paranormal radar. However, the number of times I have had to rationalize an event or come up with explanations for why or how something happened borders on obsessive. And here's the list. The typical footsteps upstairs, children laughing before I had children, knocking on walls and doors. Hey, it's an old house, creaks, groans, hot water pipes pinging, etc. It all happens. Right. Light bulbs smashed on the floor, having removed themselves from the metal base. One plant in particular that would get overturned often, on one occasion ending up halfway across the room.
Wow.
The stereo turning on at random times of the day, almost always to classical music. Oh, you got good taste. So frequently that I would always keep one classical CD in a random slot in the CD player just to see if that one is the one that gets played. Various lost objects showing up in highly noticeable places, like how can you lose your watch in the middle of the completely cleared kitchen table? Yet, after a half hour searching, there it was. But the ones that get me the most are the ones where I am completely stumped. On the same day every year is the smell of something burning. It can be detected only in two specific but unrelated parts of the house. You can even define the limits of where you can smell it by walking around. After about 2 hours, it goes away until the next year.
Well, what time of the year was it?
I don't know. They're not saying. Halloween. But the other one is the presence of hot spots in the house. Not by temperature, but when you stand in a certain place, you feel something. It has been witnessed by people as well as unaware of the phenomena itself. And some of the spots have a direction associated with them. When you stand in one, you feel compelled to face a certain way.
Oh.
I watched a police officer get completely freaked as he turned in mid-sentence to stare at the wall, looking it up and down, and then took 2 solid steps backwards while looking at the floor and then turned around. He was visibly shaken. But hey, no spinning chandeliers or dead girls climbing out of the television set, so I'm good. There you go.
Oh, man.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it that way,
It sounds like they got some vortexes there, or some energy vortexes of some kind. I don't want to say portal, because portal just gets overused in the paranormal. It's like we don't really know, but there could be vortexes or vertexes of some kind. Number 6, my son, about 4 years old at the time, would jabber away in his room by himself. And one day, my wife asked him who he's talking to, and he said he was talking with Alice, and that she used to feed the men who lived here. He went on to say that she died because she couldn't breathe. Our house used to be a boarding house before World War II. Wow. Go ask Alice. There you go. Number 7. My sister and then 4-year-old niece moved into a townhouse apartment complex. Niece is now 14 and still remembers this vividly. Ran into my sister's room not long after screaming about the man in her room yelling at her.
Oh, wow.
My sister jumps out of bed and searches around for anyone or anything out of place, finds nothing. Doors and windows were still locked. Happens a couple more times over the next few nights. Niece doesn't want to sleep there. Won't go into her room, etc. So my sister chatting with one of the other moms at the complex playground one day, and the other lady mentions how creepy that is considering the guy that overdosed in that apartment a few years back.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah. Whoa. Apparently, his son's room is now in my niece's room. Oh, okay. So my mom does some digging and found the guy's name, which leads to his obituary. Pulled up the picture from the obituary and called my niece into the computer room.
Oh.
She got half a step into the room when she saw the photo on the monitor and ran out screaming about the man, having absolutely no explanation as to how she recognized this guy's picture.
No doubt.
Wow. So she really was experiencing seeing it.
Yep.
Wonder what he's yelling at her about, though. Just
yelling at his son.
Oh, yelling at his
Because it was
son.
son's room, right?
Oh,
so it just
yep.
had that tape. Yep. Residual.
Could be residual, yeah. We don't know that it was actually targeting her.
Night, Taco.
What, is he leaving?
He says he's got to go.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for stopping in, man. Take care, and God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and the fam.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How do you make Thanksgiving tacos?
Oh, I don't think you can ever go wrong with tacos, can you?
Turkey tacos?
Turkey tacos. Might be a new thing. Kind of sounds good, actually. Turkey tacos.
I
could actually like turkey then.
Yeah,
I don't dislike turkey. It's just
could do like turkey and gravy tacos.
You could. No. Probably.
Actually, it'd be ham and cranberry tacos.
Yeah, for you.
There you go.
All right. Drew Duncan. Time. What? Has tune in next time and next exciting episode of Paranormal Portal. Well, thank you, Drew. I appreciate the plug, brother. I appreciate that. All right. Okay, let's continue on. Number 8.
Continuing on.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, RJ's barbecuing tomorrow. That's a good idea.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Nice.
Yup. Cool.
Had to snort a little bit.
No.
So, my husband and I rented a really old house. We had to fix up a bit before my son came home from the hospital. He was very premature. In the NICU for almost 5 months. Wow. Poor kid. That's a tough start. We took down the wallpaper, painted, took down the popcorn ceiling, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, popcorn ceilings. Oh, God. They're horrible. The basement was very unfinished and vandalized by the teenagers that lived here before. Oh, geez. Swastikas everywhere.
Oh, jeez.
A couple of bricks. We didn't bother finishing it because we didn't really need the room. I went down there about once a year that we lived there. Creepy feeling like someone was watching you. Pissed. Sometimes that creepy feeling would come upstairs. And I'd give it a week or so thinking it was in my head. And then I'd sit in the car with the baby while my husband burned sage to clear it out. He says the feeling while he did was so heavy. Very angry, and he would see figures coming at him through the smoke.
Not good.
There were countless experiences there.
Wow.
The two that stick out in my head are as follows. Number one, I was showering and the baby was in the little bouncer seat in the doorway. I opened the curtain, and just as I do, the can of air freshener that is sitting in the back of my toilet goes flying towards my baby. If the door wasn't just slightly shut, it would have nailed him. I went full on crazy. I started yelling, telling them if they're going to mess with anyone, mess with me. He's just a baby, blah, blah, blah. As I'm doing so, the detachable shower head I had went flying off at me and hit the end of his rope and hit the end of his rope and swings down. It shut me right up. Yeah. I appreciate what people try to do. It's like, no, you want something, take me. It's like, well,
right.
you never volunteer that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you may get what you ask, Woohoo, Birdie Cuda.
Birdie Cuda remembered. Hearts all around. Hearts in chat. Let's go. Hearts for Birdie Cuda.
Hearts.
3 months. Nice job, Birdie.
Yeah,
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you for being a member.
You.
Yep.
Hey, I don't see any hearts going. Give her hearts. There you go. That's better.
So the next one in this story is
kind of anemic, but better.
My husband and I were in bed. My son is in his room right down the very small hallway, fast asleep. We had a baby monitor because he was on oxygen and therefore had a pulse ox monitor. So I wanted to be able to hear his alarm go off. Mm-hmm. So my husband and I are laying in bed together. We usually will talk for a while and then say our good nights and fall asleep. We say our good nights this particular night, and not even 5 minutes later, we both hear clear as day, our little girl laughing in the baby monitor.
Oh.
My husband jumped up out of bed ready to kick some butt, but I already knew no one was there. Mm-hmm. I was stunned, literally. Couldn't move until I finally fell asleep. I do miss that place. I do not miss that place. Yeah. I'll bet
No
not.
doubt,
Yeah, that's not something you would miss, generally. Yikes. All right, we're on number 9. Hearing lots of things. Screams in the basement, a child, older man laughing when I'm in the shower, furniture being dragged around on my porch, music playing randomly with glasses clinking, and groups of people chatting. I've had the lights turn on when I leave the house briefly. This happened for years. I've had important documents go missing over the weekend, and then when I walk back into the room to search for them the third time, they're all neatly arranged in a stack on the center of the table. All my cabinets, what the hell did I say? All my cabinets would be open when I got home. I would feel what felt like people sitting on my bed at night and then getting up shortly after. My blinds would start shaking. There's some more and weird potential alien story that I won't go into, but yeah, creepy stuff. Hated that house. Yeah. That's the tough part is you want your house to be
weird potential alien story?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that's what you want to hear.
Is there a good potential alien story?
Well, I just want to hear the potential story of.
Yeah. Well, what happened?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
waiting. We're on the edge of our seats.
You know, I have to say though, I get a little paranoid if something was laughing at me in the bathtub too.
I'm not,
Thanks. Quit laughing.
I'm not even gonna get into this. I don't have any grounds for anything, but I was thinking about the Seinfeld where George is in the swimming pool and he's like, "Oh, it's cold water." He's trying to explain it away because his draws went down. The water's cold.
Or in the X Files. Now remember, it's my Mulder's. They're up in. I think it's called Ice, and they're pulling ice cores. Anyhow, he goes, and so we are in the Arctic. It's cold up here.
All right, number 10. When I was around 9 or 10 years old, I remember waking up to see a large shadow stood at the foot of my bed. I was living with my dad at the time, and he has a very large 5 floors terrace house built in the 1800s. And every so often, there would be an unexplainable event, such as footsteps when no one was there or voices. On the night this happened, it was just my dad and I in the house. My sister was staying with my mom at the time. I woke up and noticed the door to my room was wide open. I normally sleep with it closed. I then became aware of a large, around 7 foot tall, shadow-like figure watching me from the end of the bed.
Ah,
When the figure noticed me, it seemed to melt into the floor, and the door to my room slammed shut.
can I have some of that?
What?
To melt it into the floor?
Yeah, well, I don't think you want that done. Understandably, I was slightly traumatized by the whole experience. I asked my dad the next day if he was in my room, and he denied any knowledge of the event. He's not the type of the person that likes jokes. It's not a funny man. Well, that's creepy. Number 11, green eyes. Lived in Turnquist in Maryland? MD is Maryland, right?
Right.
Is Turnquist a town I met? It must be.
Must
Okay.
be, yeah.
Plane went down in the area, killing 300. Lightning struck the fuel or something. Well, the house was out of code and electrical was always fritzy. I would go down to fix the power and these eyes would show up. Green floating eyes. Green like Mountain Dew. And all of the eye is green, not just the iris. My dog would not go down there with me to fix the power. Traitor. And when the power came back up, the eyes would be gone. The eyes never appeared in the same place. That's weird, just eyes.
Maybe they weren't necessarily eyes, but maybe orbs.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of in the vague vicinity of eyes.
Close proximity.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, number 12, lived in a big 1840s colonial house with 3 of my friends for a while. It was set back in 80-plus acres of state wildlife property, and it was a gorgeous house. The bedrooms were all upstairs and all lined up down the hall. Our third night in the house, right about 30 minutes after we all sort of called it a night, my doorknob rattled, like someone was fiddling around with it. And then I heard the door next to mine rattle, and the next, all the way down the hall, one at a time. God, that would have to just put you on edge, right? How do you sleep after that? It's like, well, that's crazy. Good night. Where do you get to the sleeping part? Because that comes up all the time, Don.
That's true.
I was just terrified. Didn't know what to do. And I was terrified until I fell asleep.
And then I fell asleep.
It's like, how do you get to the sleeping part? Anyway, the next morning, one of my housemates asked why I was messing with the doors since she had asked 2 of the guys in the house and neither of them knew what she was talking about. Other nights, I woke up with an intense urge to get out of bed, like my brain screaming at me to get up. So I laid still for a while, thinking maybe I'd woken up by a noise, but it was around 3 a.m., dead quiet. I went into the hallway, and as soon as I walked out into the hall, all my roommates opened their doors and came out too.
Oh.
We were all woken up, but no one heard anything. And they had the same urgent get-up feeling that I did. We all just shrugged and went back to sleep.
Oh, boy.
Again, back to sleep.
No wandering around the house going,
No.
you know, is there somebody here?
Yeah, what's going on? Why are we all disturbed? Let's check the house.
No,
Nope.
they just all went back to bed.
Hey, what are you doing up there? I don't know. Good night.
I'm going to get smoking dip and go back to bed.
Yeah. Weird things would happen there. Strange objects would show up in the basement or crawl space, like old suitcases or kids' rocking chair, once a vase, just random stuff. You'd occasionally hear footsteps running down the bedroom hall and down the stairs if you were in the living room below. I could go on. That house was really strange.
Sorry.
That's okay. Never felt threatened, just weird.
Well, okay.
Never felt threatened, though.
Wow.
You got to give these people a lot of credit because
Yeah,
that's actually pretty profound activity, right, Don?
Yeah, they got brass swinging.
Yeah, they got some iron nuggies cooking there. Huh. Well, I'm just saying, I don't know what the situation there is, but these people are pretty bold. But I think there is something to that, right? Like, again, if it's malicious, you're probably going to feel it, like intuitively, like, oh, this is dark, this is not good, and these people are not feeling that necessarily. They're just feeling like, yeah, things would just get weird.
Yeah, but the random stuff showing up in like attics and basements and stuff that's kind of weird. That's really kind of weird. It's like,
that is.
What do I got? A trash panda coming around? What? It's got good stuff. He keeps bringing the good stuff.
Yeah, a child's what? They say a chair, a child's chair, a vase. Yeah. Very strange stuff. I don't know what to make of that stuff either. But those are called apports. Imagine they were deports for someone else, but they were apports for these people anyway. So very cool. I don't know what it is, but yeah, apports are a pretty cool thing as well because somehow they defied space and time because they just appear. Well, they're appearing from somewhere.
Yep. Pocket dimension.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Accio vase.
Accio chair. Hey, this is too little. All right. But, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Hi, Chris.
Chris?
Chris.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you. Good to see you, John Temperin. Who's here, Don? Why don't you do some shout-outs?
Shout-outs? Yeah, we can do shout-outs.
We can do shout-outs, folks. So if you want...
there aren't very many people here, apparently, because nobody's talking.
Nobody's talking.
So we got Chris, who just popped in. We got Chucky Danger, Ms. Deb Varner. How you doing, Deb? Drew Duncan, John Temperine, Karen and Neil's here. How you doing? Maggie M10, Misfire Jack, Rachel Gets It Right, and SoCal Squatcha.
SoCal Squatcha.
Yeah, you want to try that?
Did you say RJ?
Nope, RJ just popped in, and Ron the Sage, and then Smoking Guns. Yep. Hey, thanks for those. Yeah, I love those little tracks they made.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yep.
David Barnes, and let's see, Auntie Lil. Is it Lil or Lil? It's Lel, so it's
Auntie Lil.
As long as it's not LOL. Auntie.
You should have done Auntie Lol. LOL. That's a good one.
There you go. And that looks like it for now.
Oh, thank you guys for being here. Those of you that are chatting.
Don't forget to say hi to Portal Mom.
Portal Mom's out there. Of course she is. She's out there.
Cosmically Divine. How are ya?
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Short for Leslie.
So, okay, Lel. Okay, yeah, cool.
Gotcha.
All right, cool.
Well, good to have you here. We all need Auntie Lel.
See, look, we can read.
Yeah, I've been reading all night. What do you mean we?
Fine, be that way.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
these
man.
stories ain't
What's
reading
up
themselves.
with that? 33 out of 59 watching. Is that it? Yeah, show some love. Hit that thumb down below. Hit the one that goes up, not down.
Yeah, if you like the show, hit the thumbs up, and if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down twice.
Please.
Twice as many times.
Let me live.
Yeah. All right. That's supposed to be funny, but anyway.
Well, the whole thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
Yeah, thumbs down. If you hit it twice, it's like, never mind.
It cancels itself.
Right. That's where I was going with that. Yeah, it's funny in my head.
Oh gosh.
All right. Anyway. Anyway, tough crowd. I tell you. All right. No respect. All right. We're going to get you some of the Cryptid Corner because, by God, it's Cryptid Corner time. We got some articles from Sasquatch Chronicles blog as well as some from Phantoms and Monsters. So Should be a whole robust second hour here of dealing with creatures and such.
Oh, real bust.
Oh yeah, full bust, robust. Not breasts. I didn't mean like breasts. Did you laugh? Did you laugh because you were thinking of breasts? You did, didn't you?
Fish on.
Yeah, well, it's like trolling the shallows here.
I've been trolling. Yeah, you can do that.
All right. Anyway, it's like middle school in here sometimes. All right, let's get to the Sasquatch Chronicles blog to start it out, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to our friend Mr. Wes Germer of Sasquatch Chronicles.
Yep.
He puts out this blog, and I love how he posts these listener emails. These are emails that he's received. So a lot of them don't get made into shows, but they're posted here for everyone to read. Right. And these are some fantastic stories, too.
Some of them are, yeah. They're just awesome.
Well, I mean, they're all fantastic, I think. But, yeah, this is from November 20th. This is the first one that we're going to get into now. And so, once again, Sasquatch Chronicles blog, November 20th. New property in Maine.
I bet you that property's been there a lot longer than they think.
But is new to them.
Developed? Okay.
A listener writes, about 4 years ago, we bought 40 acres of wilderness here in Maine. Our property is accessible by an ATV trail off an abandoned road.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that means
they live at the end of an abandoned road.
Yeah.
They live beyond the end of abandoned road. Yeah. That doesn't start off really
It's only an ATV trail off of an abandoned road.
Right.
So this makes for our driveway a little over a quarter of a mile long, and we are one of the last properties in and the last property where someone will be living year-round.
Oh, my.
There are hundreds of acres of wood all around us, and according to satellite, no one lives there.
Except for Pooh Bear.
There's tons of wildlife everywhere, and about a 5-acre beaver-made pond on the property.
The pond
was
made by beavers.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Are you good?
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now it makes sense. Sorry.
All right. We have encountered a Bigfoot, a family, on a number of occasions. There's a mom, dad, junior, and a baby. What? Wow. It's like the Three Bears, right?
Did they bring pie when you moved in?
And they have a house with porridge, and I had to sample all of them. We've caught eyes looking back at us when we used the flash on a camera, heard yells and whoops, tree knocks, and I personally have had a bluff charge, and we've taken several photos. Bug season is terrible here, and we don't go out there much during that time. The best months are in the spring, in the beginning of May, until mid-June, and then it's black fly season. Oh, God, black flies are so miserable. And between August through October, sometimes in November. No matter what noises we make, they come around. When we first encountered them, we were hammering and cutting with a power saw, building our camp all day. And I'm sure they were watching us, and they made first contact. Come see us sometime. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't think that they actively I don't think they hear us doing stuff and they're like, oh, people run away. I think that they just go stealth, right?
Yeah.
They just watch. Because I think that they're, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure they're an intelligent being. And I think that they're curious about what we do.
Well, it's like when we get home, we get home and we sit down, we click on the tube, we watch reality TV, and there it is. We're their reality TV.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're their favorite show.
Right.
Maybe they like the Paranormal Portal too. Maybe. Just saying. Maybe. It's possible.
Who says a lot without having to say it, Chucky?
Yeah. So you got some responses. Yeah, I'd be careful what you wish for. Black flies and mosquitoes can drive anyone or anything insane. End to violence. Yeah. Black flies are horrible. Their bite is so painful. Have you been bitten by those, Don?
I don't think so.
Oh God, they're like house flies, except they got the needle instead of the sucker.
What?
Yeah, they got a needle. It's like a big,
like a proboscis kind of thing?
And it hurts like hell.
Wow.
They just hurt like hell, and they're absolutely tenacious. They will just come in packs and drive you nuts. They're horrible. Thank God for sprays. Even though we're probably poisoning ourselves, I'd rather die slowly than dying of black flies.
You'd rather poison yourself.
Yep, slowly over time. I'm telling you, it's so miserable. I mean, it really hurts. It's like getting a needle shoved into you repeatedly.
Chucky says horseflies take out chunks
Oh, yeah.
Up there.
Yeah, horseflies are horrible.
Well, that's because they're Canadian.
Big horseflies. Oh, especially up by Chucky in BC up there. I mean, they're huge. But I've been hit by those big horseflies too, and they freaking hurt. I mean, it hurts. It is. It's just flies are a miserable creation. I wish there was many more dragonflies.
I bet you that's what the plague of flies was then.
Oh yeah. That's why they came up with it. Yeah, because it hurts. It's like you know, no matter all over your body, any exposed skin, and even unexposed skin, like they'll try to bite you through T-shirts and everything. They just don't give any crap. It's like boom, they're coming for you.
No AFs there.
Yeah, this person says that's a fact. They're a huge annoyance on the Upper Peninsula. The many vacations we had. I wonder what kind of hindrance they would be to the Sasquatch. Probably not so much. Who knows? If this listener and family want to be more productive in their possible habituation, there is netting they can wear to achieve fighting the bugs. Yeah, that's true. Bug netting. I mean, they use it in the jungles. I think I would probably use it. You don't look very good, but it's a lot better than digging black flies out of you.
It's not exactly a fashion statement.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's funny. You've never been bit by a black fly. Oh, God.
I don't.
It really hurts.
I don't think so.
I'm emotionally scarred from the times. I went on horseback once out on this trail, and we hit the big horse flies, just a swarm of them, and we literally had to run the horses about 3 miles back to the barn just to get away from them. They just kept with us and just kept after us for about the first mile and a half, and then by then it was just like, okay, I'm done. I don't care. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, flies are horrible things. Almost, mosquitoes suck, but I mean, well, unintentional, but yes, they do actually suck, but they don't hurt. They itch, they're scratch, they cause you to itch like crazy.
Itchy scratchy.
They itchy scratchy, but it doesn't hurt when it happens.
Right.
The black flies are like, it hurts right away. And it's this piercing pain, like, I don't know, horrible things. All right, let's go to the next one from Sasquatch Chronicles blog. This is from November 21st.
Getting closer
to today's date. To today's date. This one is, it was
This is not a valid menu option.
Well, why not?
Why not? He was...
You said choose 911.
Don't say that. Some kind of auto dial feature.
Exactly. Hello, 911. What's your emergency?
Oh, God.
Oh, crap. Explain that one, Brent.
No, I'm not going to. I didn't say anything. Check your recording.
This is the recording.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. It was very large, dark fur / hair. A listener writes, I'm from Missouri. That's what they say in Missouri. They say it's Missouri. I don't know how they get that.
It's misery.
Missouri. Now, Missouri is a beautiful state. It really is.
Apparently, unless you live there.
I don't know why they call it Missouri, though. I always wondered that. How'd they get the at the end, and it's an I?
So why do British people drop the ER and say
Huh?
British people, they. So how about let's go for the Aussie, Mr. Moya.
Oh yeah, it's like Moyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Moya. Yeah, but but I guess it's
the same thing.
Like
point.
Illinois instead of Illinois.
There is no noise in Illinois.
Yeah, well,
because there's nobody lives there. If a tree falls in Illinois, does anybody hear it?
Yeah, the Illinoisans. They're Illinoising. I love Illinois too. Don't get me wrong. It's just these weird little idiosyncrasies we have about these words. Like, how do you get Missouri from Missouri? How come you don't have Illinois?
It's just Appalachian.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Strange. It's just these weird idiosyncrasies, I guess. But anyway, it was very large, dark hair and fur from November 21st. A listener writes, I'm from Missouri. My first Bigfoot encounter was actually on a BFRO expedition.
Oh, wow.
Happy Turkey Day, Brent and Don.
Oh,
Thank you,
thanks,
Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Gotta love you, brother. Thank you so much. Guys got to go check out Bigfoot Michigan Rob's channel on YouTube as well.
Yep.
He puts on a show, does a nice job. He and Tex and their whole crew. They got a whole crew of people working together.
Earlier.
Yeah, he was on earlier.
Huh. The ghost radar says earlier.
Yeah, there you go.
Earlier than what? Okay. All right. It was on a BFRO expedition. They had an encounter. We reached the campsite, set up, and met on Thursday. Went out at 9 p.m., and the gentleman took us to the lake.
You sure it wasn't earlier?
I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe that's what the ghost is saying.
Who knows?
Told us some stories and gave us some information on the area. We went to a small graveyard and walked around. That's creepy. After a few minutes, we started walking back up the hill. We stopped and listened, and a couple of us smelled a skunk. He smelled, but only for a brief moment, like it was just kind of blowing on the wind.
It wasn't me.
We got back in the truck and headed to the next location. At the next location, all the members met up. We divided and headed out. Our group walked down the road and out into the woods on an old logging road. We went into the woods a few yards, and the gentleman suggested we find a place to sit and just listen. So we all found places to just sit and listen. I was sitting next to Sunshine. She pulled up her hoodie, and I sat there looking at her thinking how, if I didn't know she was there, I would walk past her. About the time the men jumped up, they determined there was someone or something sitting with us, and they moved towards it. I don't understand. Is this making sense?
Not really.
I don't think so either. It jumped up and rolled over the berm. I did not see this. So they had a squatch just sitting by them? Are you tracking this? Or is it just me?
Buddy, sat there looking at her, thinking how faster. About that time, the men jumped up. They determined there was someone or something sitting
With us.
And
they moved towards it. It jumped up and rolled over the berm. I did not see this. I'll just keep reading. I'm sorry, folks.
Well,
if
it
it's
kind of makes sense. So if Sunshine is a person, she pulled up her hoodie.
Yeah.
And she, like, if it was camouflage, she blended in. If that's what he's saying is, if somebody could do that, and then somebody noticed something move over on the other side,
Yep.
and so I can see a correlation there. If that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, I just don't know. It jumped up and rolled over the berm. I did not see this. By this point, me, my husband Robert, and a young girl were standing and watching the men. We started to hear a loud slapping/popping sound behind us. I wonder if that's a dog man standing up. The young girl looked at me, eyes as big as quarters. I looked at her and nodded because I heard it too. I didn't look at Robert, my husband. He had heard it also. I turned around slowly to see what it was. The moon was full, so I could see well. I saw a large, dark figure standing behind a tree. The figure was so large it couldn't hide behind the tree, but it wasn't trying to hide. It was standing and looking our way, and then it would sway to the other side of the tree. It kept doing this, making no attempt to hide. It was very large, dark fur/hair. My husband calls the leader over and tells him he needs to see what's going on over here. The whole time the gentlemen in our group had been discussing what happened at the other side of our group. The leader decides we need to leave. I wasn't ready to leave, and I was not very happy about leaving because this was what we were in the woods for. So we started walking out of the woods. Something followed us out. You could hear it walk. We reached the road and started back to the other group. One of the other groups was Thurman in the I think he means using the thermal imager. Okay. Was Thurman in the road as we walked back to them. This person yelled, "Who did you leave behind down the road?" We said, "Nobody, we're all here." And they said, "Well, then there is something large in the road." We took a head count and everyone was accounted for. So one of the guys walked back down the road and they served him to compare. They used him to compare to what they had just saw. He did not compare at all. He was considerably smaller. After all the excitement, we headed back to base camp. The next day we went back out to that area and walked in again. On the way in, there was a mud hole, and my husband found a bare footprint in the mud hole. They did try to cast it, but there was too much water and the print just didn't turn out. That was my first encounter, and that hurt me. I've been going out on expeditions with groups ever since. Yeah, it's like it was translated or verbally transcribed.
Oh yeah.
We are in southern Missouri, and we've had a lot of activity here. I also have a very strange encounter with what would be in my backyard. I live in a small town of about 18,000 people.
That's small.
Well, kinda, I guess. Where we live is in the old part of town that our house backs up to a wooden area. I'd come home from work one day. I live in an older home that was very large windows in it. I had went into the back bathroom and you can see out our windows, and we have a very park-like backyard. So when I use the bathroom, I look out the window. I'm looking out the window of this day, and I see, for the lack of a better term, the Predator in cloaked form.
Oh.
That Predator movie. Oh, the Glimmer Man. Gotcha. It was moving across my neighbor's yard, and when it's in that like cloaked where it's reflecting light is what I saw. I just sat there going, what is that? I couldn't even wrap my mind around what I had just seen. I left the bathroom, came back into my living room, and just sat there for a couple of hours in shock. I didn't tell anyone about this for probably 8 months. I just couldn't bring myself to talk about it, and on some level, I blocked it, pushed it away, wasn't dealing with it. I finally told a couple of investigators and my husband one night at dinner. Every time I hear someone talk about this on your show, it still freaks me out. Do you have my email address, or if you have any interest you because I've seen the lights in the woods too. Yeah, that's very crazy.
So why would somebody go and sit in their bathroom for a couple hours?
Well, Don, there's a reason I call it the study.
Oh, boy.
That's not the bathroom. That's the study, or my den. Done some of my best reading in there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Sometimes it just takes a while to have a movement. Sometimes I gotta eat more fiber is what I think it is. But
what's taters?
What's taters, pretzels? Yeah. Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yep.
Have you ever seen that flash about that? Never mind.
No, probably not.
Anyhow.
Probably not. I lead a very sheltered life, Don. You should know. Are some of you here in chat also listening in on Truth Frequency Radio?
We're not on Truth Frequency.
Yeah, we're only
Radio
on
tonight.
Truth Frequency on Friday and Saturdays. So Wednesday's show is just here.
We are so low.
Nobody can hear us.
Ooh, garlic mash. That sounds good.
Garlic mash is always good, taters. Yeah.
Yep.
Ladle up some gravy. Let's go. That'll be tomorrow. Hope you guys all have great plans tomorrow. I'm going to get together with your loved ones if you're from the States here celebrating Thanksgiving. It's a glorious holiday.
Just celebrate with us.
Well, you do celebrate with us every time we're doing a show, I'm sure.
That's true.
But yeah, you'd all be welcome to stop over for dinner if I had a lot more food. I don't, but if I did, you'd be welcome to join me. We should. I really look forward to the day, Don, when we can do that. Have a portal meet and greet somewhere.
Yeah. The problem is like where.
I know.
We'd have to like do a minor tour,
like Vegas.
5 stops. Not Vegas. I hate Vegas.
I've never been there. What do you mean you hate Vegas?
Well, first of all, the only good time to go to Vegas is like the end of October, because otherwise it's too hot or too cold.
It's too balmy.
And then, there's just too much going on.
Sure.
I've been to Vegas a couple times. I've never been impressed. However,
I think it'd be fun.
There could be somewhere, but we'd have to be like West Coast,
Yeah, we'd have to probably do like 2 or 3 locations.
Just get on like 66.
Go to Missouri. Go to Missouri as
Joplin.
well.
We'd have to go to Joplin.
Joplin, yeah. See Lisa.
See Lisa, yeah. Yep.
We could do that.
And then we'd probably have to end up somewhere in like, a Carolina somewhere near Deb.
Tennessee, probably.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I bet you Lucky'd come out and see us if we were there.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we could
Potatoes.
do a whole chain of meet and greets. I don't know how we could do it though, but we could. If we could pin it with some investigations on the way, that'd be fun.
Oh gosh.
Like investigates, then do a meet and greet one night in the middle, then investigate, and then travel to the next one. Do kind of the same thing, or start with a meet and greet, and then 2 nights of investigating, then a meet and greet. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Wouldn't you want to meet and greet and then do the investigating, or are you just talking about like? Us
I'm not
doing
talking
the
about bringing everybody on an
Oh,
investigation.
gotcha,
I just mean
Gotcha.
just having a get together somewhere in those spots. Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Would you guys come if we did schedule something like that?
Now you're just teasing people.
No, these are all visions of my future of the portal.
Yeah.
This is all visions of things that I'm working towards with all of this. But if it's something that you guys would participate in, I would definitely try to put things together. Noah says he'd come. Very cool, Noah.
Well, of course, Jess would be there. Yep.
Yeah, Jess saw us up in Vernal.
Vernal, yeah.
Not this last year, but the year before. Yeah.
Yep.
Portal pool party. Not pools, but
No, let's pass on. The
you don't you don't want to see this in a Speedo. I'm just saying. That'd be a whole different level of paranormal right there.
It's a peanut hammock.
Yeah. So no, don't. I gotta quit agreeing with you and start listening. I gotta listen first before I actually agree. I end up saying the dumbest crap just because I'm not really focused on what just came out of your mouth. But yeah. One day, once I won the lotto. Well, I'm not. Yeah, Maggie. Yeah, we'd have to go to Oz too. Then, of course, hang out with Cade and Dean,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and get together with all you all from Oz, and maybe Nessie could make the trip. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Come over to the mainland over in Oz, and because
Well,
she's in New Zealand.
I don't know if New Zealand calls Australia the mainland, though.
Well, it's a bigger land anyway. I don't know. Probably not.
Come to the big island.
Come to the bigger island. Yeah, I don't know. It'd just be fun. If you came to Elmere, hell yeah. Where's Elmere? Is that New York?
Wow.
I don't know, David. Where? I think you're over on the East Coast. Yeah. I don't remember. I got a lot of dyslexia. Do you come from a land down under? She does. Maggie does for sure. Yep. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's all part of a future vision of the portal. With a lot more financial
Means.
yeah.
Means.
Because God, especially like going to Oz, that would be like
God.
that'd be like $5,000 in just plane tickets.
It'd just be a plane ticket. Too.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
We'd have to come sleep on your couch.
here,
Maggie.
you can sleep in the lab. Here, your seat's in the lab.
Yep. Come and rest on Maggie's couch. We don't need much room.
No. Tape recorders are not allowed while we're there.
Yeah. God. Yeah. There's all kinds of sucking in going on, and never mind. I'm just gonna shut up. There's no way to save that one. That went down in the flames. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to get out there and meet you guys and hang out. Get together somewhere and just have an evening, throwing back a few brews and could be a bonfire, could be a restaurant. I don't know.
Yeah, and just have,
Elmira, New York. Yeah, I thought it was New York, David. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that'd be awesome. But, again, it's my visions often are more ambitious than my means.
They're very grand.
Yeah, well, I've seen this go from, nothing to what it is today, which is really incredible.
Yep.
And then to see where could it go, and how could we connect the dots and meet some of you guys and,
Yeah,
thank you in person. Just say thank you so much. Just meet our family.
Yeah.
You guys are our family of choice.
By choice.
By choice. Blaze of glory. Going down in a blaze of glory. Hope not. Hope not, Jess.
Glory.
All right, let's get to the last Sasquatch Chronicles one, then we'll go over to Phantoms and Monsters.
Phantoms and monsters.
Phantoms and Monsters, because there's more. Because wait, there's more. All right, this is from November 22nd.
Oh.
Is that today?
That's today.
That's today old.
It's gotten.
Experience in the Northwoods. Done. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Experience in the Northwoods. Let's see what's happening
Were
here.
they Yoopers?
I don't know.
No,
Is
they're
it?
from
No, it's
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Maybe up by Superior. Listener writes, November 18th was the opening day for gun deer season here in Wisconsin. For the past few years, I've been hunting gun season on a large piece of private land owned by some good friends of my father-in-law. This piece of property is in Douglas County in the northwest corner of the state. The true North Woods. Yeah, it really is. That's where I got black fly attacked. It was up there, and yeah, it's near a place called Spooner on a private lake. Man, I got mauled. I'm in like literally in a swimming suit, and these things are just hitting me. It's 80 acres rather of land on the south side of County Highway T. Oh yeah, that's right. They use letters up there for their highways. Yeah. Oh. And backs up to just over 17,000 acres of county forest land, and it's been in their family for over a century. There are pictures of the family when there were no trees left due to poor logging practices. Oh, yeah. That's brutal when they just clear cut it. They still do that up here. It's just tragic. Now the wild is returning to our beautiful state. The elk herd is doing well in Sawyer County. Mountain lions, wolves, and several other species are present. I was actually growled at and stalked by a mountain lion in Barron County during a spring turkey hunt in 2018. I call this an experience instead of an encounter because I never laid eyes on anything. My father-in-law and I got into our stands around 6:30 a.m. and we sat all day. We sat all day without seeing any deer. I saw a few does pass, and that got spooked by an ATV driving back for lunch. Sometime around 3 to 3:30 p.m., I heard smashing sounds off to my right. Smash, pause. Smash, pause. Smash, pause. Smash, smash, pause. Smash, pause. Smash.
Got it.
Boy, they typed that out, didn't they?
They did.
At the time, I figured it was 2 bucks butting heads, but since the rut was still ongoing. Confirmed by me harvesting a doe in estrus the next day. But when I got home, I couldn't shake the feeling that wasn't what I heard. So I watched a few videos of buck fights to refresh my memory, and I knew that wasn't what I heard. As a hunter, I'm sure you know that buck fights sound like chaos. They really only have that initial impact, and then you hear brush breaking, leaves getting kicked around, and their tines clicking together. What I heard was also not a gunshot, and here's how I know. I've been in the woods for gun deer season for 4 years, which isn't that long, but it doesn't take long to know the sound a gun makes in the woods. Right. Yeah. The sound didn't echo across the woods like a gunshot. It sounded like a hard object was striking a softer one, perhaps a rotted tree. The sound seemed deliberately spaced, especially the double hit followed by the final 2 hits. I've heard suppressed weapons being fired, and they still have that supersonic crack, unless they're using subsonic ammo, but who the hell's wasting that kind of money on whitetail? Yeah. No one from our group was hunting in the area where these sounds came from. I was listening to the episodes of Sasquatch Chronicles with Carter Brouchard yesterday when he mentions he thinks Sasquatch can count. If we take that theory and relate it to the sounds I heard, we get this. The initial 3, we'll call them wood knocks, I heard were informing others of the area. There's a human in the tree stands 1, 2, and 3. And there are 2 humans in stand 4, and then 1 human in stands 5 and 6. What a more dangerous time for a creature like this to be in the woods. Stray bullets, incompetent hunters, trigger-happy hillbillies who shoot at sound, they would have to be able to communicate with their group to avoid lines of fire and human traffic. They'd need a specific sound that wouldn't sound like our rifles and be mistaken as a gunshot. That could get one of their members killed. That's the meat of my theories, but if you'd like to see pictures of the area or pick my brain for more information, let me know. I'd also like to note that I heard a really strange swooshing sound that day too. I didn't take the time of day or anything. I just remember thinking, well, that was weird. That night, right at the end of our legal shoot time, the wolves in the area sounded off. Well, at least I think it was wolves. This is my first time hearing them. Playing with the idea that I heard Sasquatch howls, it could indicate that they were saying, I'm here, still alive.
Missed me again.
Thanks for taking the time to read. Keep up the good work. Yeah, it's interesting. Do you think they can count down?
Yeah, I do. I think it's kind of basic. I mean, you know, yeah, I think they can. Just that's the way it is.
Yeah, I think it can.
I don't have
That's the way
to
it
back
is.
up my reasons.
Well, I mean, it's just wild speculation, right?
True enough.
I think they could. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. I don't know if the concept of numbers is really advanced or if it's just kind of normal. I don't know. That's a good question, I guess. Well, that was the stories from Sasquatch Chronicles blog. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Did you enjoy them, Don?
I always enjoy Germer's site.
Yeah, it's a good site.
Yep.
It is a good site, so definitely check out SasquatchChronicles.com, the website, not just the podcast, because there's so much more going on over there. He even shared our latest episode.
Oh, did he?
Or no, he shared the Brad Eichenberg.
Oh, yeah, Brett.
Eichenberger,
Brett.
yep.
He's
From,
surprised you didn't call him Greg. You called him Brad.
I did, yeah. It's so dumb. I was always called Brett, and then I had a guy named Brett, and I don't know why I said Brad or something like that. It's just dumb.
That's okay. We know you're the real Brad.
You know I'm the Brad. There, I finally got that crap up, I think.
There you go.
It's just been stuck.
Doobie.
There we go.
Nice.
I think so. All right, let's go to the next one here. Because those were Sasquatch Chronicles. Now we got to get to Phantoms and Monsters. And we're going to start with a 12-foot tall white creature. Throws dead turtle at driver near Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Huh.
What do you think of that, Don?
I think it's the Ozarks. We're in the Ozarks again, right?
Ozarks.
Ozarks. That's what I meant to say, not Appalachia. When we were talking about Missouri.
Yeah, I don't know
Ozarks.
if Oklahoma has got the Ozarks.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes rushing down the plain.
I don't know what you're doing.
Random associations. So what you got for us?
Well, I'm going to start reading it now.
Sweet.
All right, here we go. PhantomsandMonsters.com. Please support this site. This is Lon's site. Lon's been a guest on the show a few times. We have had wonderful talks with him, and he also has a podcast. It's called Phantoms and Monsters Radio, and you can listen to Lon read a lot of his stories as well and tell you background pieces of information that weren't necessarily included in the actual article and go into more detail about the research he's done about them. But they also have research communities that are affiliated through phantomsandmonsters.com. And, I know they research all the cryptids and, of course, the winged humanoids like the Mothman and stuff. And they've been working pretty hard on that up in the Chicago area. And, there's lots going on. And Lon's published works, you can find out more about them on phantomsandmonsters.com. So support the site. Go over there and check it out. There's lots of great stuff. And here's the article. 12-foot tall white creature throws dead turtle at driver near Stillwater, Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
Where the winds come.
That's a musical, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Okay. Is that actually a song?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know. I just thought I knew there was a...
You uncultured cretin.
I know, dude. You'd never swear I even lived here before.
Where are you from?
I have no
I'm
idea.
from a planet with dinosaurs.
Yeah. Ruled by T-Rex. Here we go. Let's see what it starts. There it is. A witness and his family were driving near Stillwater, Oklahoma, when he observed a large unknown white bipedal creature in a grassy area along the highway. It then throws an object at the vehicle. This event happened in April of 2021. I live in Yale, Oklahoma. My wife works in Stillwater as a nurse, and it was an early Saturday morning, and my wife got called into work. I drove her and my 11-year-old grandson into town to drop her off. My wife was still sleepy because she was supposed to be off. She quickly nodded off by the time we made it to the highway. Poor lady. The sun hadn't come up yet, but it was light enough to make certain things out. Off to the right is a grassy clearing, and there are several animals around the area. But something was odd. This thing was there, and it was white and acted like it was trying to hide. I slowed down a bit and saw it throw something in my direction. Whatever it was hit the ground and bounced back up. The creature took off running on two legs and then sort of morphed into running on all fours.
Oh.
And that's the best description I have. I was curious, and we wanted to stop, but I knew my wife had to get to work. On the way back home, my grandson asked what that thing was back there. I had no idea. He was awake and saw it. I told him, I don't know, but we're going to go check it out.
Nice.
We're going to go check it out. Get out of the car. I found an area to stop right where I believe I saw it. I walked a short way and quickly found what was thrown. It was a dead turtle, and the shell was mostly torn off.
Probably lunch.
Yeah, I quickly realized if it had been a little more accurate, it could have taken out a window and caused injury or an accident. I'm always alarmed when I'm out.
That's not what he says.
I'm always armed. Not alarmed, sorry. When I'm out, and I wanted to explore the area more, but not with my grandson.
Right.
I felt danger, and I listened to my discernment.
Yes.
The way this thing moved was not natural, and these things are 100% nefarious. I don't know how you can get to that.
Well, if he's talking about a dog man.
Well, is he talking about a dog man, though?
Well, he said it morphed into a four-legged run.
No, it morphed quadrupedally. But Bigfoot do that.
Well.
Anyway, no one can tell me different. I believe I know what they are, but I've heard a few stories. To say exactly what I believe is that they are evil. There's more than what we can grasp, obviously, but it is in no way, shape, or form an animal. I took my grandson back home, and my daughter was there to watch him, so I went back, estimating the height. There's a 5.5-foot fence right there. I saw it. I'm 6'3", and I feel whatever I saw had to be 11 or 12 feet tall. That made me a little uneasy, and I'm glad I took my grandson home. I did manage to get inside the fencing and realized the ground had hidden holes, and they would have seriously injured a person had they stepped into one. I have no idea how this thing managed to navigate that terrain the way it did. There were no visible tracks. We talk about it in the open. I don't see any reason not to, especially since my grandson saw it, and that reaffirms in my mind that it was there. I wish I had more of a description, but it was instantly quick, insanely quick when it took off. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Lon says, what is it, a Bigfoot? Possibly, since the description, height, and characteristics seem to suggest that's what it was.
Yeah.
I suppose that when a rock isn't available, a turtle is a viable alternative. Well, and you don't got anything else to chuck, you just chuck your lunch.
That's the fastest that turtle's ever moved.
Yeah, crazy. That is crazy. Well, I don't know. I don't know about the evil part, though. That's the thing. I know that certainly when you see something, Don, that you're not used to seeing,
Right.
and you're trying to come to terms with it, and it scares you, then it becomes evil, right? Because it scares you.
Right. Well.
And I think that might be a projection of that person
Yes.
just being in unfamiliar territory there.
Yes. Because I'd just say it scared the crap out of me. And
Yeah.
it's not necessarily evil. I mean, you scare the crap out of me. You're not evil. I mean, let's be honest. So, but anyhow.
No, I'm more chaotic neutral.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I just geeked out
I
there.
guess that
didn't I?
makes me lawful evil.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think that's pretty crazy. Again, I don't think they're necessarily good, evil, or otherwise. I just think they're just doing their own thing, and they don't like it when we interfere with that, maybe, and so they lash out a little, kind of like tantrum, like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But there's a whole dichotomy with this, though, because some people think that they're these very advanced beings, very, very advanced beings, but then they seem to act very much primitive.
Right.
And I that's where I get stuck with this stuff.
They have to be intelligent to be building structures and using way signs.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I mean, there speaks of intelligence. It speaks
Sure.
of, not exactly, not quite Jar Jar Binks, but a little more than Jar Jar Binks.
Such
at
Jar
least.
Binks.
Yeah, just because you can speak doesn't mean you're intelligent.
You're a fellow being there, okay, though.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, but so yeah, I think they're very intelligent. I think they can count. So I think there you go. That's it. That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it, folks.
Turtle power. Yes, thank you. Oh my goodness. Must have been
Yeah,
rough
that's
for hell.
it's the precursor to a Ninja Turtle. He was a ninja star.
He got mad. The creature got mad because they didn't have any pizza with it.
Yeah, I think that pissed me off too.
Yeah, exactly.
She had to eat it, just a turtle.
Yep.
Here's another Bigfoot sighting. Recent credible Bigfoot sighting reported at Bena, Minnesota. I don't know where
What
that
makes
is.
it credible?
I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it was documented well or something. I don't know. 2 Minnesota goose hunters were recently in the mud goose management area when they witnessed a hulking, hairy biped on a nearby trail. They later reported it as a Bigfoot sighting to the BFRO. I guess maybe the fact that they went to to the point of actually reporting it makes it a little more credible.
So because they went and reported it to BFO, it makes it credible.
BFRO, yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
But yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I mean, anybody can jump on anywhere. I saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But they never actually substantiated it in any way. So maybe it does make it a little more credible. I don't know. But this is an actual strip from the BFRO, it looks like. Submitted by witness Jeff Stanley of Lester Prairie on Saturday, October 7th, 2023.
Wow,
It's
this is
actually
last
this year.
month, yeah.
Yeah. Multi-witness daylight sighting 3.5 miles southeast of 6 Mile Lake, Leech Lake Reservation. Oh, okay. That's up in the northern. Year is 2023, the fall. That's this year, this fall, October the 6th, Minnesota.
Tiny soda.
County is Cass County. Location details, location of figure is, they give all the
Some longitude
coordinates.
levels, yep.
Nearest town is Bena Federal Dam. Nearest road, trails 2127 and 2266. And this is what was observed. While my mother and I were grouse hunting up by Bena, I thought they said goose hunting before. Maybe I misread it. Grouse hunting up by Bena on 6 Mile Lake, Lake Road, in Mud Goose Management Area, we both witnessed a Bigfoot. We were traveling down 2127 from east to west, and my mom said, "Whoa, back up." Down trail 2266 near the bend, we saw a Bigfoot off the trail in the grassy ditch, and it slowly moved off the trail east to west. My mom asked me if I felt like it moved in super slow motion, and I concurred. The ditch at the site was 3 feet down, and the grass at the side of the trail was 3 feet tall, and the upper torso was 3 to 4 feet above the grass, leaving the Bigfoot to be approximately 8 to 10 feet tall. That's a big animal. Or big being, I shouldn't say animal. We drove to the spot and both noticed a strong sulfur or rotting vegetation. I mean the smell, of course. When I got out of the car and immediately felt all my hair stand up on my body. I checked for any sign of footprints on the road, and I could not see any due to the gravel being very packed down. There was a small bit of gravel disturbed in one spot near the west side of the road shoulder. We later got stopped by the local conservation officer, game warden, checks on hunters, and when we mentioned what we saw and where it was, he remarked that's where people have been reporting seeing a Bigfoot. My mother and I have no doubt that we saw one.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just the mom and the kid. 9:30 a.m. Temp was 50 degrees. Wind 10 to 50 mile per hour overcast. Follow-up investigation by the BFRO spoke. That's Ontario Richardson. I spoke at length with Jeff Stanley and separately with his mother, Susie, about their encounter in early October, and they were grouse hunting, driving slowly. Yep, we got that part. They might not have spotted the figure down on the side of the road if they had not been driving slowly and looking for grouse. Susie, the mom, spotted it first and shouted, "What the hell is that?" Jeff hit the brakes and backed up. Susie had seen the giant back of what looked like a massive body. When they backed up, Jeff shouted, "It's moving." What they saw was the figure turn to a side profile showing the head and the waist of what appeared to be a giant black creature walking into the timber on 2 feet. Jeff yelled for his mom to get her camera out in case they saw it again. They described it as hulking. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson figure with a rounded head, sitting low on the shoulders and appeared to be looking down. Its head was almost swallowed up by the huge shoulders from their view angle. It had solid dark hair with a uniform pattern all over its body. The arms were long and slowly swung as it walked into the woods. Based on the depth of the ditch and the height of the grass, it walked, though they estimated to be around 8 feet tall, Although it walked upright, she described it as more ape than human-like. After it disappeared in the woods, they drove back to the spot where it was seen. They had a moment to unpack what happened before they got out and walked towards the figure where the figure had stood. And they noticed a pungent smell, which they described as rotting compost mixed with musty rags. They saw small mounds of dirt pushed up on the ground, similar to what a toe would create. Jeff brought up to their dad, that they should take some pictures of what that were seeing. His dad said he wasn't comfortable sticking around any longer. So they returned to the car. Later that day, they ran into the game warden while he was checking their birds. Jeff blurted out what they had seen. The game warden responded with, "That is where people report seeing those." This caught the family off guard as they were expecting him to refute what they saw. Jeff and Susie were both very certain that the huge figure with long arms was not a bear. And Lon's note, "I'm inclined to think they saw a real Bigfoot. There are Bigfoots in this vicinity." Well, yeah, there sure are. I've heard them with my own ears. There were enough reports around the vicinity for finding Bigfoot to shoot an episode within 5 miles of this location around 10 years ago. The small town of Reamer is 16 miles to the south. It calls itself the home of Bigfoot because of the number of sightings around here.
Wow.
Very cool. Yeah. I guess I'd heard about a Minnesota town doing that. I didn't know that it was Reamer. I didn't remember it anyway, but very cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Don? There's Bigfoot out there, right?
I think there's Bigfoot out there.
There's Bigfoot out here, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Don and I were actually investigated a structure, believe it or not.
Yep.
And we got footage, like photos and such. And we also checked out the area. We brought our good friend Cindy Goodbreak with us, along with Glenn.
Yep.
And we checked out the area. Both of those are pretty avid researchers. And we did find what looked to be about 16 to 17 inch print, but it was on an incline, and it wasn't castable. If it was, I mean, it was well beyond my ability, and we didn't have any casting mediums with us anyway, but about a quarter mile away from the structure. Now, the interesting thing is after we checked out the structure, the whole place just kind of fell apart.
Yep, just fell apart. It was
like
abandoned.
once we interacted with that site, whether we left a scent or if they were watching us, who knows? But they never touched it again. And I will tell you that if you want to see the site, head over to my Instagram and check out the photos I posted. They are up on Instagram and the Paranormal Portal Instagram. Brent Thomas, I guess, Paranormal Portal, one of the two. You'll find those pictures.
There you go.
And I think I even included the print. Now the interesting thing was when I zoomed in on the print, it looks like there's an infant print there too, right inside of the big print, like a parent holding the fingers of a baby that's learning to walk, and then it walked right after it, or right before it. Would have had to have been before it, right? Otherwise, it would have stomped out the print.
Right. So
I don't know how that would have worked.
So the larger foot would stomp out the smaller foot.
Right.
But it would make sense that the parent was leading, and the child
was following.
Was following in the footsteps.
Yep.
To hopefully cover,
Yep.
Because sand people travel in straight lines. Sand people, yeah. So, but that way the smaller juvenile can walk in.
Sure.
When it's feasible, because
right.
I'm pretty sure that a juvenile doesn't have a 5 foot stride. 5 foot, 6 foot stride.
Right.
So as best as possible.
Right.
So there you go.
But that didn't become apparent to me until after I got the photograph home, and I actually zoomed in and then I could see the little print.
Sure.
On the photo, because I didn't see it with my naked eye.
Right.
But very, very cool. In any case, very cool stuff. So I don't know about you, but I have no doubt they're out here.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. That's the one thing about these. Again, I think these Bigfoot, Sasquatch creatures are truly the most successful organism on the face of the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are found in every medium that there is land. They're found in mountains. They're found in swamps. They're found in desert. They're found in plains. Mm-hmm. They're found all over the place, everything in between. And they're surviving and seem to be just doing fine, like thriving. And again, I get people have said, in the past when I've said, look, I think these are the most successful organisms. People have said, wow, people. But I'm like, no.
No.
Because the only reason we can excel is we can recreate our comfort anywhere. So we can contour areas to our own comfort. But if it was left to us, you look at those Survivor shows, Naked and Afraid or whatever, or Survivor Man. These people go out to locations and they spend 30 days or whatever. They come back like 20 pounds lighter.
Right.
Some of them looking like emaciated, concentration camp people. Like they're just wasted away because they've used all their own body fat to keep them alive, along with whatever they can find. And then they're cold, they're hungry, they're tired. They didn't thrive. They just survived. But these things just, they can do it. They just do it, and they do just fine.
Yep.
So, again, believe what you want, but that's my take on them.
There you go.
I don't think they're from here. Just show up to feed. That's an interesting thought. Again, I always feel cautionary around with statements like that because for anybody to draw those conclusions with any kind of certainty, it's certainly worth putting it out there as far as another idea, and it's just as valid.
Right.
So I'm not criticizing it, but I always think, well, how could we possibly know that? Now, I do know that people have, as James is suggesting, and I think this is where he's coming from, is people have observed them phasing, disappearing,
Right.
possibly being associated with orbs in some weird way, which would suggest some supernatural part of them. And that stuff is wild. It's tough to get your head around. But yeah, they could be some trans-dimensional being that's has access to here, right, but maybe lives there or maybe lives both. Who knows? But it's pretty incredible stuff.
They're vacationing.
They are. They're coming over here to grab the, grab the.
We got better chicken.
We do. So I don't know. That's been on my mind a lot. I think these are incredibly fascinating creatures. I do still tend to think they're more some kind of primitive, not man. I don't want to say man because I think they're their own thing.
Proto people?
Maybe.
Proto person?
Maybe that would be a good word for it. I don't know. But the other stuff, I don't know what to make of it. I've often thought that, okay, we've covered plenty of stories, and I've heard through the years plenty of stories of people inadvertently passing through portal-like things, and they didn't even realize it until suddenly everything changed. They're walking in a forest, and they felt that suddenly it was a different environment, like it was a jungle from a regular forest,
right,
or it was a desert or plains from a woodland. And it's instantaneous. And they're like, well, this doesn't make sense. And so, in most of these stories, if they're true, I don't know that they're true, but if they're true, the people backtrack and boom, they're back where they should be.
Right.
And then they have no more problem. But they did traverse something. So what if these beings, whatever they are just so attuned to the natural world, they kind of know this stuff happens and they know where it happens and maybe even when it happens.
Wow, leave it to Rachel.
What did Rachel say?
Maybe a parallel evolution, a type of prehistoric mammal that developed alongside the ancestors of humans, taking on similar characteristics but more rugged.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where my head goes with it. But what if they were capable of utilizing those naturally occurring portals that happen, like their version of a subway?
Yeah.
Like they could just
mind the gap.
Yep. Hey guys, we got to get back up on the ridge because the gateway's opening pretty soon. And so they go up, they catch it, they go back to wherever there is.
Yeah.
And then they may catch it again. Maybe they just have that much more attunement to the natural world, and they can feel when it's coming, and they just make sure they get to the areas where they're coming, and then they walk through them and they look like they just melt away into nothing. For the observers that happen to catch those things.
Right.
That's kind of my gut feeling on it. Because I have trouble with, well, if they're super advanced, they sure don't seem to act super advanced.
Right.
They seem to be incredibly primitive, but
maybe that's part of the madness, though.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just tough to say. They don't seem to create anything, but they just seem to exist just fine.
Yep. Well,
so whatever they are, it's anybody's guess.
there you go.
You see Don's wrapping her up.
Yeah. I gotta go.
He's in the fumes section of his day.
Yes, sir.
He's running on vapors.
That's correct.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? There won't be a member show tomorrow just because it's Thanksgiving. I'm going to have a nice, relaxing day with my family. And I hope you guys understand. But I will tell you that the live shows on Friday and Saturday will be going as normal.
Nice.
So I hope you guys join us and join me at least. Don, you'll be back next Wednesday, right?
That is the plan.
That is the plan. And should he accept his mission, we'll accept him back here next Wednesday.
Oh, gee. Thanks.
Well, of course.
Deb must be up making late night pies because she's still with us.
I like pie.
I like pie.
I want some pie. Nah, Kitty, that's my pie.
All right.
Mom, Kitty's been, I don't know.
Nah, I want some more cheesy poofs.
Oh, boy. All right. Sounds like it's rummy time.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Thanksgiving to you all. I realize not all of you are from America, but just know that this is my chance to say thank you so much for all the love and support and for being a part of our family. Please join the Discord. The link is in the description below. Love to have you over there as well. And just take care of yourselves. Make sure that, tomorrow is a special day for you and yours, and hold each other tightly and let each other know that you love them. And I just want you to know we love all of you. So thank you so much. And again, we'll see you Friday. So until then, auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
I leave you dirty. Oh, I mean arrivederci.
Yeah, that was,
Gotcha.
I knew. Yeah. So close. Anybody could have made that mistake.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody. I'm going to roll the credits. And until Friday, we'll see you right here Friday night on YouTube and on Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then,
Good night.
be good.
Tasty, he means.